more. If you have not seen me or met me before, my name is Sarah Reeder, and I am the owner of Playful Adventures, and a play-based company here in Southern Alberta, and we look after or focus mostly on free play, outdoor, unstructured free play. And I was the manager and supervisor who created the City of Calgary's mobile adventure playground a few years ago. And so that is my passion. And I've done a couple of these physical literacy active sessions and I love them. There have been lots of fun. Before I forget, my next one is going to be this Thursday, March 3rd at 9 a.m. with my friend Christina, who does yoga play. So I'm really excited to be back with her to do that one. And today we are doing hopping, jumping, and leaping. So those are the ones that we're doing today. We're focusing on more fundamental movement skills. Last time I did throwing, and today we're doing that. So to start, I want to throw it out there, and I want to ask you guys if you know what jumping is. So if I say to jump, do you know what that is? If you guys are watching somewhere where you can jump, show me. Let's see a jump. Maybe write down in the comments. When I say jump, what does that mean? Okay. Perfect. Now, if I tell you to hop, let's see you hop, because they are actually two different skills. So let me see your hop, and let me see what that looks like. Okay, or write down in the comments what a hop is. Perfect. And now I want you to leap, and show me what your leap looks like. Again, those are three different fundamental movement skills, and we're going to do a little bit of all of them today. Okay, so before I get into our games that we're going to do, the first thing I want to do right now is let's see what they are. So first skill is jumping. Okay, and a jump is when you take off from 2 feet and you land on 2 feet. Boom. So that is a jump. Taking off from 2 feet and landing on 2 feet is our jump. Okay, our hop is from 1 foot to the same foot. So lift one leg up, whoop, balance here. And that is a hop. Woo! When you take off from the same leg and land on the same leg. Same if you were here. So whoop, other leg up. Balance this morning. Hop. Okay. And a leap, let's see if I can get this so you can see my feet more. A leap is when you go from 1 foot to the other foot. So if I take off from my left and I land on my right foot, that is a leap. Okay, so you can leap from side to side or back to front or front back. So 1 foot to another foot is a leap. So when we're looking at fundamental movement skills or physical literacy, we start with our fundamental movement skills, or which are like our ABCs, right? So if you're going to learn how to write, right, whether it's books or epic novels or a screenplay, if you don't know how to write, the first thing you would learn is the alphabet, right? Your A, B, C, D. You would learn the alphabet. And from the alphabet, then you learn how to put those letters into words. And then words into sentences, sentences into paragraphs, and paragraphs into the best novel ever written in the history of the entire world. Okay, but we have to start with those ABCs. So when we're talking about our fundamental movement skills, that's what we start with. Okay, so we're going to do some little activities and games that are going to show our hopping and our jumping and our leaping. And then I'm going to show you how we would combine those moves into a sentence or a word. So combining 2 of those moves into another skill. Sound cool? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to first practice our jumping, okay? And you can do this just jumping on the spot, But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up some stuff in the room here to practice a little bit of skill with my jumping. Okay, so if you're in a classroom or at home, you can maybe take a piece of tape and just put a long piece of tape on the floor. You can take a skipping rope and put it on the floor. I'm going to use my mat, as well as I'm going to grab a couple pieces of paper. Okay, so you can grab some paper out of the recycling bin and have that as well. Okay. I'm gonna prop up my computer here so you guys can see my feet a little bit more. There we go. Ooh, perfect. Okay, so I've got my yoga mat here. And first, I'm going to practice my jumping skills. Okay, so when I'm jumping, remember it's 2 feet to 2 feet. So we're going to jump, and I'm going to jump. Ooh, I'm going to turn this forward and back. So if you're at home, or if you're in the classroom and you have that skipping rope, you can use that skipping rope. Okay, but I'm going to jump forward over top of my mat and back, and I'm going to do this all the way down to one side of the mat and then all the way back down to the other. Are you ready to jump with me? Ready? So 2 feet, whoop, to 2 feet, and back, whoa, and forward, and back, whoop, and forward, and back, whoa, and the other way, and back, and forward, and back, whoop, to all right. So that is our jumping. Okay, if you really want to make maybe a challenge, you could set up almost like a long jump in your class. Okay, and so if I marked here, and if I was going to see how far I could jump, so I start from 2 feet, and I'm going to see if I can jump all the way to the end of my mat. Oh, almost. I almost made it. So you can, so then I would, if I had a marker or a piece of tape, I could mark how far I could jump. Okay. So that's the first one we're going to do for jumping, is we're going to jump forward and back over the line. You can have an imaginary line, right? We've got great imaginations. We don't need anything to play. But if you have a line or a mat or a skipping rope, practice jumping over and back, over and back, over and back, over and back, okay? And if you want a little bit of a challenge, maybe a little friendly competition, you can practice how far you can jump. All right? So now we're going to try and do jumping on targets, okay? So put that down so you guys can see. So I'm going to grab my little piece of paper, and I'm going to put here, and here, and here, and here, and I'm just spreading these out, okay? Perfect. So these are all spread over the floor. And now what my goal is I'm going to jump and try to jump on every single one of these pieces of paper, okay? If you're using paper in the classroom and you're in bare feet, okay, even on shoes, we want to be really careful because paper on linoleum floor, classroom floor, be very slippery, okay? So make sure that you're not going to slip. So I would not do this in sock feet, okay? Even bare feet can be a little bit slippy. So probably make sure you wear your shoes. We always want to be safe. All right. All right. So we're going to, whoa. Perfect. All right. We're going to start with our jumps. Okay. We're still on jumping. So 2 feet to 2 feet. And let's try to jump to all of our squares. Here we go. Up. Woo! Extra points. Oh, if you can balance. Woo! In between. Okay. So that's a couple games and a couple activities that you guys can do with jumping. That's pretty easy. Okay. You can also challenge yourself to see how high you can jump. okay, how far you can jump, maybe how little you can jump, right? You can do little babies jumps. We can see what kind of animals jump, right? Like rabbits will jump. I don't know, what other kind of animals jump? And jump, not a hop. What other kind of animals jump? Let me know in the comments. So now we're going to do the same games, but we're going to hop. Okay, so we're going to start with that line, either imaginary line, your tape, your skipping rope, a mat, whatever you have. And we're going to do that imaginary line and we're going to hop. So remember, our hop is from one foot to the same foot. So I'm going to start and I'm going to go down my mat and I'm going to do my right foot down and I'm going to hop my left foot back. And I'm going to try to hop on either side of my mat. Whew. All right, so I'm going to start back here and I'm going to start on my right leg and I'm going to hop to the other side of my mat. Actually, speaking of safety, we're going to pull this mat a little bit forward so I don't hop into my wall. Ready? Here we go. Whew. Whoa. Hopping is going to take a little more balance. And a hop. Whoop. And a hop. And a hop. Whoa. Woo. Woo. Tumble. And a hop. And a hop. And a hop. And a hop. Whoa. All right. Let's see how my hopping skills are on my left. And we're going to do the same over and back, hopping on your left leg. Are we ready? Here we go. And a hop. And a whoop, hop. And a hop. Whoop, and a hop. And a hop. And a hop. Whoa. All right. Man. Woo, getting a workout in. So that is our hopping. Okay. So now next, we're going to do the same hopping onto our tiles, either a piece of paper. Again, you can just have maybe, if you're outside and you're in the snow or in the dirt, you can maybe just draw an X on the spot. If there's leaves on the ground or pine cones where you are, you can hop to the pine cones, right? You can hop if you have the portable baseball for the mounds and for like the bases. You can use those, okay? And again, you don't have to use anything. You can use your imagination. You don't need to have fancy equipment to play, okay? So I'm gonna try the whole way hopping on my left first. So your hop, remember, is your left foot to your left. All righty? Here we go. Whoa. Whoa. Hop on my left. All right, I'm going to start on the other side and come back, hopping on all of my little pieces. Okay, and we're going to go on my right leg. So you're going to start over here. I'm going to hop onto my right. Here we go. Whoop. Oh man, that's some good hopping. Perfect. Again, so those are two quick activities that you guys can do with hopping. Okay. If you wanted to add a little bit of creativity and imagination, maybe we pretend that the ground is lava and you can't step in the hot lava. You have to step on the rocks so you don't burn your feet in the lava, okay? Maybe it's your creature pit, like what we did with our balance a couple weeks ago. So maybe it's a swamp full of crocodiles and you have to hop onto the pads, right? So you're safe from the crocodiles. So there's lots of different imagination. You guys can play this outside. Maybe you can see if you can hop from one rock to another outside, or one patch of snow to another, or one mud puddle to another, which would be super fun, okay? So lots of different ways to practice hopping. Maybe you can find animals that hop, right? Are there any animals that hop? I know that there's animals that jump, but have you ever seen an animal in the wild hop from one foot to the same foot? Or do they always go from one foot to another, or 2 feet to 2 feet? know. Let's see. Comment down below if you know of any animals that hop. All right. Whew. Last one. We're going to do that again, and we're going to leap. All right. So our leap, member, is from one foot to the opposite foot. So if you think of dance, right? When we're dancing and we leap, we go from one foot to another. And often, if we're outside and we're trying to leapfrog or jump from, like I said, one puddle to another, or when we're doing kind of hopscotch, maybe we'll hop and we might jump, or we leap to try to get to the other one, that we can't hop that far, so we leap instead. Okay, so I'm going to leap forward with one leg, whoop, over my line, and leap back with the other. And a leap, and a leap, and a leap, and a leap. All right, let's turn around. Let's go back. And a leap, and a leap, and a leap, and a leap, and a leap. Woo. All right. Now we're gonna leap. For me, let's see. I am going to be a frog, and I'm going to leap from my lily pads. These are my lily pads, and I'm going to leap onto each lily pad. All right? So I don't want to hit the water. There's snakes in the water. I'm a little froggy, and I got to leap from one lily pad to another. Here we go. And leap. And leap. Woo! And leap. And leap. And leap. Let's try to go back. Let's do it really fast. And leap, and leap, and leap, and leap, and leap, and leap, and leap. Woo! Whew. So that is our leap, okay? So what I was saying at the beginning, when you have your fundamental movement skills and you have your ABCs and then your words, that's when you actually put two of your skills together. So let's look at putting two of those skills together and seeing what it creates, okay? So if we actually take two of our skills together, let's take a hop and a leap, okay? So if I do a leap, and then a hop, and a leap, and a hop, and a leap, and a hop, what do you think that looks like? Hey? I'll show you again. If a leap and a hop, and a leap and a hop, and a leap and a hop. That's skipping. When you go to skip, skip and skip and skip, and you're skipping around, that's actually two skills combined. That's a leap from one foot to another. Even if it's just a small leap, it's a leap and a hop. And a leap and a hop, and a leap. And that is how we slowly build up our skills. But if we don't have those basic skills, if we don't have our ABCs, it's really going to be trickier to try to build onto those and do that harder skill first, right? It's going to be really hard to create a word if I don't know my alphabet, right? It's going to be a little trickier. It can be done, but it's going to be a little bit trickier. So when you're looking at maybe some sports-specific skills like a layup in basketball, right? Or a pirouette in dance, or a tumble in gymnastics, it's usually going to be a couple different skills, right? With skipping, I was also using balancing, which is a really good fundamental movement skill, and was one that Christine and I did back at the beginning of the week, or at the beginning of the month. We worked on balance first, okay? So we start with those little ABCs and move on from there, okay? So I'm going to show you one last little game that you guys can do, just a fun thing that you guys can add some skipping or some hopping in, okay? So with this, I'm going to use my son's stuffed animals to help me out with this one, okay? So I have all my animals over here, a whole bunch of animals. I have an octopus, I have Mr. Giraffe, I have a monkey, I have a bear, and a little baby koala, okay? So if you're in your classroom or in your gym or you're outside, I want you to gather a whole bunch of loose parts, whether it's maybe just buckets or balls or pine cones, right? Or different rocks, or different gym equipment, maybe different colors of the same thing, bean bags or markers or whatever. What we're going to do is I'm going to start on this side, and for me, because I'm by myself, I'm going to call out what animal I'm going to get. But if you're with your friends or your family or your teachers in your classroom, you can get your teacher or your mom or your friend to say, octopus, and you'll have to run. We are going to jump first. You're going to have to jump across, grab the octopus, and jump back. All right? So that's what we're going to do. Let's see. I'm going to grab the monkey. All right? I'm going to grab the monkey. So I'm going to jump, and we're going to jump there, grab the monkey, jump back, and bring it back here. Are we ready? I go. Jump, jump, jump. Oh, I got the monkey. Jump, jump. We're going to jump and get the octopus. All right, I'm going to hop and get the giraffe. I'm going to hop on the other leg and get the teddy bear. Last one, I'm going to leap and get my koala. I got all my jungle friends. Whew. I'm getting hot jumping and leaping so much. Okay, so there's just a couple great games that you guys can do at home with your friends, by yourself. You can do it outside, right? You can do it in the classroom, you can do it inside. So recap when we're looking, our jump. Let me hear, what is it? Yes, jump is 2 feet to 2 feet. Okay, what about our hop? Let me hear, what's a hop? Hop is from 1 foot to the same foot. Okay, and our last one that we learned today is our leap. So the leap is 1 foot to the other foot. Okay, and a leap can be small, it can be big, it can be side to side, front and back. Okay, so those are 3 of your skills. And when we combine our leap and our hop, that's when we got skipping. And just imagine all the movements you guys can do with the basic alphabet of movements, right? Limitless possibilities of movement for both games, sport, life, work, all the things that you guys can do once we have a really good foundation on that alphabet of movements, right? Whether I want to be a huge professional athlete, right? Or maybe I want to be a person who climbs mountains or goes and wins swimming races or creates a dance of my very own, or maybe I make up my very own game or sport, right? Having these basic alphabet of moves is really going to help me feel confident in myself that I can do all those things. Okay, so thank you guys so much for joining me on this Monday afternoon, and I hope to see you guys Thursday morning, 9 a.m. with Christina and I when we do some yoga play and some more free play. If you guys ever want to get in touch with myself or have any questions about physical literacy, unstructured outdoor risky play, I would love to help you out. I'd love to give you guys a hand. So you can reach me. My email is hello@playfuladventures.ca. You can also find me on Instagram under Playful Adventures. So I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. Thank you so much. And thank you to Mackenzie Recreation Association for having me as well. It's been a blast. I'm off. I'm going to go outside and play while it's beautiful and warm here in Southern Alberta. So take care, everybody, and I will see you on Thursday. Bye.